Welcome once again to all the practitioners of the Dugukan Holistic Art and its chapter, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, also outside the country. And here we are again, and it's another day of our live conference. And this live conference is intended for distant divine energy healing. So prepare your glass of water. So we are going to include the blessings of the water, making the water living water of life that can cleanse up negative energy contaminations or heal illnesses. And we are live in this conference in the southern part of Cebu, Philippines, at the site. So this is good energy by this time, and I'm hoping that everyone in the practice of the holistic art of Dugukan can connect the energies that we're talking here, good energies. And we are going to continue the topic that we are going to discuss, the holistic art of Dugukan, highlighting art of life, or angels contacts and connection. And people are practicing angels contact and connection, and the way they practice the angels contacts and connection, they open up their heart wisdom, and that's holistic art, development of the body, mind, soul, and spirit. By practicing the said art, you can activate your spiritual channels in the physical body, the 7 energy centers. You can activate your vital force, and that's why the practice of the said art of life is holistic art. It will help you enhance the vigor of your spirit, and it will activate your divine connection with Mother Nature, with the advanced elemental foundation, and with the Supreme Super Light Angels, and also with the Most High. So I welcome everyone at this live conference. And this live conference is intended for an hour live broadcast, and here we are going to talk more about the holistic art of Dugukan, highlighting the activities of mysterious lights manifesting the skies. Here at the site, people are permanently observing the presence of mysterious lights. And we have the lessons, what are those mysterious lights manifesting the skies, and we describe them into Supreme Super Light Angels. They are getting closer with the humanity on earth for the purpose of aiding us, the divine illumination that will lead us into soul realization, which is the very requirement of our ascension in the higher dimension. So we are in the art and science of physical and spiritual fitness. So welcome everyone at this live conference, and I'm really hoping that you're doing well and with much vigor of your spirit all the time. So good health, as if following the commandments of good health. And joining with us right now, Joy Beth Cabos.
Good afternoon po, SGMPS1-72.
Yes, Joy, good afternoon to you, and welcome. Kumusta sa lahat nating mga kaibigan dyan sa Malabon? And I'm really glad, and welcome everyone. While waiting for the rest to join in this live conference, and prepare your glass of water. We are going to bless the water, making the water living water of life that can cleanse up negative energy contaminations. That's vital by this time. We have the way how to cleanse off the negative energies, as negative energies are just lingering in the surroundings. And that's my point of encouraging the practitioners of energy healing, divine healing, which group we are belong. And mostly important by this time, we are familiar with self-protection. In the practice of energy healing, so long as it's in the practice of energy healing, regardless of what is your system, and then mostly important is the vital shielding, self-protections against negative energies, negative psychic attacks. As by this time, people are victims, especially those people who do not have the knowledge of self-protection, and then they do not understand why they suffered negative energies, bad lucks, or they suffered also illnesses. This because of the negative energy contaminations, and they extracted such negative energy from the people who are recipient of their divine healing or energy healing. So I'll welcome everyone in this live conference, and let's get to know more about energy healing and highlighting the supreme supplied angels manifesting the skies as mysterious lights, and the common people describe them into UFO or unidentified flying objects. And here in the What's the Divine Revelation, we are not describing UFO because there is precise lesson, and the lesson is Art of Life 172, Angels Contacts and Connection. That is expansion of spiritual awareness, and then understanding our connectivity with nature, realizing that we are not alone in the vastness of the universe. We are really blissful in life because we are not alone. So if you're feeling lonely, so lonely in life, and feeling so alone, and that would be the time that you are going to realize the inner side, because the inner side will tell you that you're not really alone, and life is really wonderful. Every day is new and a wonder, and life is always with much blessings, as long as we are going to open up our hearts and our minds for the deeper meaning of our life, our lives here in the physical world. And that's why we have the divine healing, energy healing, and the energy healing that we're doing here, the healing for the body, mind, soul, and spirit. And if our physical body would have illness, that's because the body is vulnerable with illnesses. The wear and tear of the physical body, we have to counter the wear and tear of the physical body by doing holistic art. So this live conference is intended to enhance our information about holistic art in a way of developing our energy for healing. That is divine healing, our divine connection with the most infinite. And joining with us right now, Remy Boy Satu, Arisgado Macho.
Maayong hapon, GM.
Yes, Remy Boy, mayong hapon. And welcome. And we are live, having this live program at the southern part of Cebu at the site. And I'm hoping everybody's in the best vigor of spirit. So, while waiting for the brothers and sisters, visitors in this live conference, and then I'll welcome everyone. And do not hesitate to participate. If any concern you would like to share your comments, okay, so share it, go ahead, and you're really welcome in our oneness with all the stars. This is oneness, and we are one family, big family in the entire planet and in the entire galaxy. We could be bigger family in the entire galaxy, or in the entire cosmos. We should be the biggest family of oneness with all the stars. And getting familiar with the stars and the heavens, and will enhance your spiritual awareness that the truth of infinite light, the truth of the supreme infinite, is really immeasurable, and as if that we cannot count the stars in the heavens. So the world is so vast, and that if the world is so vast, so we must have wider view to see what things are right. So what things are right. So this really important. The things right that we should realize, and as earlier as now, we are arranging our lives final ascension into a higher dimension, and the way to do it, let's get to know mysterious lights manifesting the skies. As I'm saying yesterday's topic, I'm talking about mysterious lights manifesting the skies, the supreme superlight, angels. Those are really vital for the ascension of life into higher dimension, because the process of the ascension will require the physical body to ascend, and the way the physical body can ascend to higher dimension, it will undergo the process of purification, wherein the process of purification will not will need the physical body to purify. Mukurog na siya. We'll need the physical body to purify. So the way we are going to purify the physical body, we have to do something, and that's learning how we are going to do the cleansing of the physical body, the cleansing of the energy body. So we have to cleanse up the energy body. and likewise also to cleanse up the mind from the negative thoughts, the negative vibrations, because this all these things will affect the energy body, the balance of the peace and harmony of the body, mind, soul, and spirit. So we have the holistic art to answer the needs of our very own soul, the needs for the physical body, the needs for the soul. So with that, we will be aided on our ascension in the higher dimension. So I welcome everyone in this Oneness with All the Stars. And also joining with us right now, Brad Knight Tirizo Gamutan.
Maayong hapon SGMPS1-72, watching on your favorite program live pertaining to general healing of body, soul, mind, and spirit, healing of life and nature, and many more.
Yes, Brad Knight Tirizo, more power to you. And always and our Oneness with All the Stars, sending to you my warmest regards. So your family and everyone there, more power. And also joining with us, Kamangyan Karin.
Maayong hapon GM, salamat.
Yes, Kamangyan Karin, more power. Regards to you sa tanan natong mga kaigsunan, mga kaiglaan diya sa Cordoba, more power. And also joining with us right now, Carl comes.
Maayong hapon GM.
Yes, Carl, mayong hapon. Mga daw kanimo, more power. So welcome, and while waiting for the rest to join, participate in this live conference, the activities of the Supreme Superlight Angels are more and more of these activities are coming up. So my reason, if you have the chapters or someone having the chapter, and you can enhance as well your activities, doing every day's Art of Life 172. And you can teach also the lessons to your brothers and sisters much more by this time that we need effective exercise for our holistic art. The physical body will need exercise, and as I'm saying that the exercises could be two ways, two systems of exercise. The first is the structural, and then the external. We are going to develop your body muscle, and then the other one is the internal side. The same when you are practicing your martial arts. When your martial arts is based on the internal system, you are going to develop your vital force, internal energy, and it's really powerful. And people practicing internal energy, they will have powerful energy to heal. And that's why it's like when you're watching movie, you can see especially martial arts, and then they are going to transfer energy to the injured someone, and that's the way how they are going to treat wounds or illness or injury, just magnetic healing. So that's vital force, and vital force is powerful. That's actually basically coming from the bones, and then the muscle energy is 10% powerful, and then compared to the bone energy, which is 90% powerful than the muscle energy. So it's a really big difference. So when you do your holistic art exercise, you apply the internal system as well. So you can combine the external. You are going to do your weightlifting, jogging, Zumba. Zumba is really well known. So we need that to explain what's Zumba, what's aerobics, and all those exercises that you are going to develop your body building, developing of the muscles and the bones, cardiovascular exercises. And then the internal system, that's the art of your breathing. So why is it the art of your breathing? And ancient people practicing internal energy, they're spending so much time to study the system of breathing, wherein the system of breathing, they can really control their mind and their thoughts, their mind, their entire physical body. Because we need to control the body, mind, and by way also of controlling the breathing. And it's quite difficult to control the muscles if we're not able to control our breathing. That's why spending so much time to control the breathing will enhance your energy, will enhance how you are going to control as well your mind. So imagine 40,000 thoughts that will come in your mind every minute, so much thought that will come in our mind, so much vibration as well will come in the hearts and the mind. And those vibrations, thousands of thoughts, thousands of countless of vibrations within, and then there are vibrations, negative vibrations. So that's why during meditation we have to do something, cleansing off the negative vibrations within by emptying the mind. So if we are going to empty up the mind, you are as well going to empty the negative vibrations that you feel within. So it's harmonizing the energy, the pacification of the heart and the mind, the pacification of the physical body and the spirit body. With that, we can attain our good balance of peace and harmony. We can really attain holistic art. So the healing that we are going to practice is really powerful healing because we are discerning the way how we are functioning as a soul being in the physical body, and as also as a soul being in the soul body or light body. And with all these things, we need the education of divine illumination. So that's why the 7 steps that I'm describing to you in the practice of the holistic art of Dugukan, first, we have to apply the ascension oil, because the ascension oil is the foundation. That's longevity and rejuvenation. When you apply the ascension oil, you're feeding up your physical body with substantive energy, or that kind of energy, substantive energy that will cleanse up the blockages in your energy tunnels that will cause the clog ups of your psychic abilities, your inner instincts. And that will also protect the physical body from the harms of negative energy contaminations, including the harmful negative psychic attacks, and including all sorts of viruses. So when you're feeding up substantive energy for the cells of your entire body, so you're not really vulnerable with any sort of virus. So do not afraid of viruses. You must be afraid if you don't have self-protection. So by this time, your self-protection is both physical, spiritual, spiritual, physical. So that's a really equilibrium. So that's the meaning of our holistic art. And with the function also of the divine words, your spiritual contacts for the angels of the supreme light, and then it will enhance your divine connection with the angelic or with the angels realm. You have your access to the higher dimensions of the advanced inner realm and of the grand inner realm. So those are really vital for everybody's ascension into higher dimension. That's why I look my chance to online and to have this live conference so we can share the lessons of the ladders of ascension into higher dimension. This time is arranging our life's ascension into higher dimension, and the ascension that we're talking now is will actually need us to realize how is it done. So it is done by practicing your spiritual martial arts, and it cannot be done in some other ways. Why? Because we need to topple down our blinding ignorance and various human weaknesses that cause us bad lucks in our lives. Therefore, we need to do our part, and everyone of us has its own responsibility, and that responsibility is a spiritual responsibility to topple down blinding ignorance and to wake up soul realization by enhancing our wisdom. So the first lesson that we are going to apply is practicing wisdom. So practicing wisdom is enhancing our wisdom, and wisdom can be attained by receiving, aligning, and adapting the bridging of the divine radiance of the Supreme Master of Heaven, Supreme Superlight, angels, because there is actually difference between wisdom and the knowledge. And the knowledge, we can read it in the books, and we go to the universities, academies, and we can study. And if we have print and non-print materials, available materials for our study, then we can get knowledge. That's why the book of Dugukan, and when you are going to read of Dugukan, that's knowledge. So the wisdom is not yet there unless you are going to perform the lessons. And when you begin to perform practicing the Art of Life 172, it's there found in the book of Dugukan, Volume 1. And then there you can begin to harness your wisdom by opening up your hearts and your mind. So there is transmission from higher dimension infused to your cell. And with that, you are receiving the wisdom of the Supreme Infinite. By doing your Art of Life 172, doing Art of Life 172 will open up the energy centers of your physical body, wherein that energy centers once opened, and then higher knowledge will come in. So it's really vital for the ascension of life into higher dimension. This is why if we are not really familiar the ladder of our ascension into higher dimension, so we will remain of using the things that we are not really sure of ourselves. Those are things really pertaining to the absolute truth or just mundane things. The same as we're watching the UFOs there in the blue skies and then in the stars, and then we do not understand what are those mysterious lights manifesting the skies. And once you are in the Art of Life 172 exercise, and then you are really familiar watching the mysterious lights manifesting the skies. Why? Because of the signals there, that signals that are activating in your physical body, wherein your consciousness is aligned with that signal, and you can define that those are angels coming from the Supreme Light. So whenever the time there are airplanes there appearing in the skies, you will never bow down. Why? Because you know that those are airplanes. And then people who are not really familiar at long distance viewing, they can see lights moving in the skies, then they bow down, believing that, oh, those are angels of the Supreme Light. And they're, I'm talking about for the people observing also, and then without really practicing the lessons of Art of Life 172. Then you could say, those airplanes, those are not angels of Supreme Light. And then people would say, those are angels of the Supreme Light, really big light and getting closer. Then at closer distance, or there, when it is really clear, and then there is already the sound, and they realize that, yes, it's airplane. So that's why it's a really big difference when you practice your Art of Life, because practicing Art of Life is enhancing your spiritual awareness, and you are not really misled. And the time will come at the right time. There are activities, actually bigger activities, illustrations of powers, and which powers I'm talking about, powers of in this side and in this side. And then you are not really misled, because you are already having your powerful foundation of the truth of Supreme Infinite. So this is the right time. We are going to prepare ourselves against the trials of viruses, and then you have your self protection, powerful protection. So in time of difficulties, where are you going to shelter yourself, to shelter your life, so you will be protected by powerful powerful source of power, source of powerful foundation of life is only into the embrace of the most powerful source of divine power, the power of the Supreme Master of Wisdom, Supreme Super Light Angels. And they are manifesting the skies right now. When you are open up your heart, and you are going to open up your mind to the truth of the Supreme Infinite, and then you will have it. You will begin to understand what's the big difference between having wisdom or having the knowledge. The more that we have the knowledge in our mind, the more that we feel that we are intelligent, we are genius, and then the more we do not understand spirituality. Why? Because the mind has full of reasoning. It will never accept any other truth except the things that we realize here in our mind. So the more that we will feel that we are genius, and the more that we feel that we are the only right person because we have this truth, and then the more that we will be committing mistake, because from the word empty your mind, how you are going to empty your mind is zero balance. And that's why when you are inside the cave, when you are there doing your meditation, it's zero balance. When you close your eyes, it's dark. And when you open up your eyes, it's still dark. And there's light in the dark. And there's darkness also in the light. And how you are going to discern the equilibrium of the darkness and the light is by resorting into the supreme law of equilibrium, abiding with the light of the supreme absolute. So with that, you will realize that there is truly light that we cannot really define by way of how genius our mind is by emptying our mind, emptying our heart. So higher knowledge will come in. So for example, I'm memorizing how many divine words. And in fact, yes, I was having that kind of experience. People are talking about secret names of gods, and then how many secret names of God you have ever known? And then people said, 3, 10. Then you did not imagine. And then I would say, I guess how many divine names that I had memorized. So if you have your 50 leaves of the notebook, 30, tato or 50 pahina ng notebooks, for example, then that's the divine words that I have memorized long time ago. So you imagine how many divine words that I had memorized. So, marami. But then the big question is, when I am going to rely with the thousands or with the hundreds of the divine words, divine names that I had memorized in my mind, then I'm not really sure, or I could not fix myself and say that I'm already okay. I'm already enhanced, because the more that we believe that we are full in the mind and full in the everything that we need in life, and then the more that we don't have that kind of chance for higher knowledge, because we think that we are already with this thing in life. We are already having this all these things in our lives pertaining to the spiritual side. So that's why the time that we are going to open up our hearts and our mind to the higher knowledge, and then we have to empty up our minds, and then the time that we empty our minds, higher knowledge will come in. So you just imagine, if you have one divine word, and that divine word coming from the embrace of the Supreme Master of Heaven, Supreme Superlight Angels, is more than enough. Is more than thousands of divine words that you are going to memorize. So that's why I learned to empty up my mind. I learned to empty up my mind so that higher knowledge will really come in. And in fact, you put it in your experiment. The more you are knowledgeable, the more that you will refuse wisdom, because you cannot accept wisdom, because you cannot see the explanation. You look and you look for more evidence until such the time that even though the evidence is just right there in your eyes, then you will reject it because you do not understand, because you are already full in the mind. And that's the meaning of emptying the mind. And my very reason why I am saying that we don't have powers. The powers, if we have the powers that's actually coming from the Supreme Master of Wisdom, Supreme Superlight Angels. And they are right now here to usher the ascension, to give us the divine guidance how we are going to work for our ascension of life into higher dimension. And that's my reason why I'm saying that's the Holy Spirit. That's the religious term. The religious term for the energy is spirit. And then we are dealing with a sacred energy, and in another term, religious term, that's the energy of the Holy Spirit. So the embodiment of the Supreme Superlight Angels representing the Holy Spirit, the teaching of the Holy Spirit. So everything that we are dealing here is private revelation. So when you are going to read a book, where can we read the truth of the Supreme Superlight Angels? So you can read it in the book of Dugukan. And is it there found in the Bible? You still there find in the Bible. You can find it in the Bible. And that's the private revelation. That truth will be revealed to you direct in your heart and in your mind. You only need to open up your heart and your mind for the wisdom of the Supreme Infinite to shine in you, so that the force of the Spirit of the Supreme Infinite will play rule in your life. And then higher knowledge will come in. And that's why. So anyway, welcome everyone in this live conference, and I'm really hoping that you're doing well and with much vigor of your spirit. And joining with us right now, a message from Igmat Ramon.
Maayong hapon, SGM.
Yes, may hapon kanimo do. More power. And also, kamayan Karen.
Pwede ra ko magsumba, GM?
Oh yes, that's really nice. If you can do it, maayo kayo na. Ah, hasag lang basta mauna na. Zumba o Zumba. Not only, hindi lang yung zombie. Zumba. Okay. More power. Maganda yan. We are going to practice internal system. That's the Art of Life 172. And also, you can play your exercises in any other system or exercise, and that would be good. Combination of the two system will make the big difference. And also, joining with us right now, Junil Aladad.
Maayong kahaponon, SGMPS1-72 and to all. Namaste.
Yes, mayang kapunon kanimo, Junil Aladad. Namaste to you. More power. And also, Alejandro Chato, Abdik Adhong. More power.
Maayong hapon, SGMPS1-72.
Yes, mayang hapon kanimo, Abdik Adhong. And also, Marisol Albancinia Villegas.
Canlaon City, Negros Occidental. Good afternoon, SGMPS1-72.
Yes, good afternoon to you. Marisol, more power. Regards sa itong mga kaigalandia sa Canlaon. And also, Igmachimay sa Restauro.
Gloomy afternoon after watching in Guerrero, Cebu City chapter. Beautiful and wonderful afternoon, SGMPS1-72 and to all the viewers around the globe.
Yes, Igmachimay sa Restauro. More power to you. And also, Divina Revenge Blaine.
Hi.
Yes, hello, Divina. More power. And Shalmea Gamutan.
Maayong hapon, SGMPS1-72 ug satanan.
Yes, mayang hapon kanimo. Divina. More power. Aw, Shalmea Gamutan. Alright, may tuko ang tingog. Tuko. So, that's bertud ning tuko siguro kay yung Divina, yung tuyo yung tuko. They're really nice. Okay, now joining with us right now, Anne sa Bethlehem de Paradise, Northern Cebu. More power to you, Anne, and nice to see you in this live conference. Regards sa tanan natong mga kaigsunan diha sa Bethlehem de Paradise Resort, Northern Cebu.
Good afternoon, SGMPS1-72. Watching you at Bethlehem de Paradise chapter, Maravilla, Tabuelan, Northern Cebu. Good afternoon to all Dugukan stars.
Yes, Anne, more power. Hope to see you there soon. And also joining right now, Abdik Iris Einstein, Guadalupe chapter.
Good afternoon, SGMPS1-72.
Yes, Abdik Iris Einstein. Good afternoon to you. And Matthew Mo.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Matthew, you're welcome. And nice seeing you in this live conference. And prayers to you from Matthew Mo. More power. And also Binje Estorco.
Good afternoon, GMPS1-72.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Binji. More power. And this live conference is intended for energy healing or distant energy healing and also sharing the divine connection from the Supreme Master of Heaven for energy healing. So if you're someone wishing yourself to become energy healer, and you can connect and you can practice energy healing. Right after connecting in this divine healing transmission, our formula is very simple. Thought follows energy. Thought plus energy. When you open up your heart and your mind, that you are going to connect with the divine healing transmission of the Supreme Master of Wisdom, Supreme Supreme Light, angels in this foundation of Divine Healing Ministry, Dugukan Healing Foundation, Divine Healing Foundation, then you can connect and you can begin right away your energy healing. And then what's the thing that you have to consider in the practice of energy healing? First is powerful shielding or self-defense or self-protection. So the very reason why you are going to connect for your self-protection, and you can deal energy healing. So as simple as that. And then is it really possible that you could have your divine connection for energy healing? You can do energy healing by just connecting your consciousness or your thought with this divine healing transmission, then the answer for that is really yes, you can connect. And in fact, people are doing their energy healing by connecting with these activities. The What's a Divine Revelation, as I'm saying that the activities right now is What's a Divine Revelation, highlighting mysterious lights manifesting the skies, and that refers to the Supreme Superlight angels. And they could have their names definitely. And as to how you are going to know their names, and then that's why you have to undergo the 7 steps of inner discovery or advanced spiritual study in the Sacred Spiritual Secret. And that's Inner Study School, Sacred Spiritual Secret. And first is you have to apply your ascension oil. And the second, you have to visit at the site. Why are you going to visit at the site? So you can do your lightship initiation. And because today's condition, we cannot easily travel anywhere. And then the angels will visit in your site, and how you are going to perform your lightship initiation, and then there will be instruction given to you how you are going to perform your lightship initiation, and there will be confirmation for your lightship initiation when you are ready to take your lightship initiation, because the lightship initiation will require you to memorize or enhance your Art of Life 172, and then you will be scheduled that at that designated time you are going to perform your Art of Life lesson, and then the angels will appear in the sky, and then you have to say that that is the presence of the Supreme Superlight angels, and then there is the confirmation that you will pass the lightship initiation. You are having that authority to teach the lessons of Art of Life 172, the spiritual side or the inner side, and then the external side right after learning the lessons of Art of Life 172. If you read the book of Dugukan, then you learn the lessons through the book, and you can have your teaching of the lessons of Dugukan, because the lesson of Art of Life is internal cultivation of energy. That's physical and spiritual fitness, and you can begin teaching the physical fitness using the internal system of exercise. The Art of Life 172 is really good exercise. In fact, that's my exercise right now. I'm applying the exercise of internal energy cultivation, soft exercise, because of my time is not so much time available, and then when I'm shutting down, and then I need to do my exercise, so I have to do the 44th lesson of the Art of Life, Hilarium Gideon, and then connect to the Universal Force, connect to the Supreme Master of Wisdom, Supreme Superlight Angels, then enhance my breathing, control my muscle, control my mind, and with that, after doing that exercise, I could feel the vigor of my spirit. So that's a really good exercise, and without the exercise, then for me it could be a big problem, because my time is not so much when it comes to doing exercise in the field. I'm going jogging, or I'm going to the gym, and we have the training site. So considering the little time, then I would do my exercise while I'm sitting, or while I'm lying in my bed, or reclining in the bed. So it means to say, by learning the internal system of exercise, understanding the principle applied in that inner cultivation, then you can do your exercise anywhere. And I can also do my exercise when I am outside of my physical body. Because there is the lesson in the inner discovery, one of the 7 steps is conscious astral travel or advanced spiritual study. So the third exercise that you are going to perform of the 7 steps, which is conscious astral travel. So when you're outside of your physical body, you can still do your martial arts. You can still do your exercises. That is why it's really quite interesting if you are enhancing your lessons of inner discovery. It's quite interesting. In fact, if you're one of the persons who are really spiritualist, and your heart and the mind is are focused on inner research, and then you memorize hundreds of the divine names, thousands of divine words pertaining to the sacred and the sacred things pertaining to the esoteric arts. And then you will enjoy doing your meditation. You will enjoy reading your lessons. And then because of that activities, you're happy. Reading the books of your lessons or doing meditations, you're already happy. And much more, you will enjoy and happy, really happy if you are doing your conscious astral journey. Because it's there the actual revelation of the Holy Spirit to you, the living book of life. And that's why arranging life's ascension into higher dimension will really require you spiritual awareness. And that's why we have the first principle of Dugukan, which is spiritual awareness. So people are talking about what's the meaning of Dugukan, and Dugukan is a foundation. From the word Dugukan, that's a local term, Cebuano local term for foundation. So Dugukan is a Cebuano term for foundation. Pillars, haligi, and that's lubas, and that's the different terms used in the local dialect. So this refers to the foundation. So that's why I'm talking about if you are going to look for your highest foundation of life, and then you have to resort into the knowing of thyself. Know thyself. At present life evolution, you are 9 advanced and non-advanced elemental bodies. So your advanced elemental foundation, and the meaning of the advanced elemental foundation. That's why I'm giving my example when you believe Archangel Michael, and then Archangel Michael would be the example of the kind of the foundation of life, advanced elemental foundation, because he can get closer with the humans without causing the humans to burn up or to be consumed by fire. And then the supralight body of Archangel Michael is supreme supralight, couldn't really get closer with the humans. And that's why we have to arrange our life's final ascension so we can survive supreme supralight energies. And in fact, the process of the purification of the planet, the natural course of the planet's purification, will involve forces of nature, and then the revolution of the forces of nature. And we are humans. We are not playing nature because we are not yet higher beings that can play nature or bigger powers. And that's why we are studying nature. And now by this time, we are having the practice of the holistic art, wherein we are going to expand our consciousness to the deeper meaning of our lives, wherein we are going to deal our lives advanced elemental bodies. Our first advanced elemental body could play nature because it has the ability to create nature. So it can create bigger force of nature. So that's how powerful it is. And that's why when I'm saying, or you're someone saying that everything in the third dimension of the world and everything in the entire universe is illusion. Yes, that's indeed true illusion if we are in the higher dimension and looking at the lower or the minor dimension, and we can realize that everything in the minor dimension is illusion. And then we need to wake up so we can realize that everything in the universe is really illusion. The time that we are not any longer affected with the illusions of the third dimension. But that can be done easily right now because we are in the process of purifying. We are in the process of our purification for our final ascension into higher dimension, wherein such purification of the physical body will undergo processes of merging of higher vibrational frequency in our light body, in the physical body. So in the process, we undergo lessons of purification, and the lessons of purification will involve lessons of art of life 172. How are you going to receive the bridging of the divine radiance of the Supreme Master of Wisdom, Supreme Superlight Angels through the mysterious lights manifesting the skies, not through the airplanes that seemingly as if that seemingly also UFO. And you look at the airplanes at long distance viewing and you cannot hear sound, and you would say that those are angels of the supreme lights. and big lights. And well, in fact, then you will realize later that airplane manifesting the skies. So there is the procedure really needed in the process of harnessing ourselves, harnessing our life's ascension into higher dimension. And that's why that's actually the thing that we are going to talk here in the holistic art of Dugukan. So the trumpet of the angels are actually forces of nature, voices of the nature. And nature is really divine mother nature, loving nature. And also not loving nature when it comes to the revolution of its power. Because we are not enhanced with that kind of power. We are not playing bigger powers by this time because carbon life foundation and humans would have so much limitation unlike higher beings. And then higher beings, for example, the first advanced elemental body and will say would like to visit. Okay, so let's go on. So bigger power can simply do. Okay, we have interruption of our internet connection. Anyway, let's go on. So bigger powers. The first advanced elemental body has power, bigger power, and it can play bigger powers of nature. So it's not vulnerable with it's not really vulnerable with the harms of violent force of nature. And the higher elements, which is the physical body, is vulnerable with violent force of nature. So that's why we have to take good care of our physical body, because the physical body is really the requirement for our final ascension into higher dimension. So let's take good care of our physical body by doing holistic art. And from the word whole and holy, whole is entire. Everything needed in our physical body and our soul and the spirit are already there. Everything is included. So we have to do something, an expansion of our spiritual awareness. So welcome as we share the secret of angels contacts and connection to anyone who has the heart to take good care of the sacred lessons. And this live conference is intended for energy healing. Welcome and more power. And message from Anne.
Hope to see you soon too.
Yes, Anne, more power. And also joining with us right now, Habam Ray, more power. Halaging Nurse Fire, message.
Maayong hapon, SGMPS1-72, watching from Manila chapter while on Divine Healing Field Mission.
Yes, Halaging Nurse Power, more power to you. And also Matanchiril Kihano.
Good afternoon, SGMPS172, watching lively your live broadcast in some part of Cebu City, attending my patient right now, applying healing for patient and client's pain on the back muscles and bones. Thank you for the divine connection and spiritual protection we receive always and every time we connect to you silently, SGM. Lessons from you is priceless, and we treasure all we had learned for our lives' salvation and ascension.
More power to you, Matanchiril Kihano. We are guided by the power of the Supreme Master of Heaven, by the embrace of the Supreme Superlight Angel. So wherever we are, wherever we will go, there is always the presence of the Almighty Lord God of Heaven, the Supreme Infinite Light, the Supreme Infinite Source. So more power, everyone. And also joining with us, Dali Santos of Sambuanga chapter.
Afternoon, SGMPS 172, and to all the Dugukan stars. Good
Yes, Dali, more power. And also joining with us right now, a yes message from Matan Cherel Quijano.
Good afternoon, SGMPS 172. Thankful and blessful watching and listening your live broadcast here at Guerrero, Cebu City chapter.
Yes, good afternoon to you. And also, Aptikria Santos.
Maayong hapon, SGMPS 172.
Yes, Ria, more power to you. Aptikria, more power. And also, Mrs. from Divina Revenge Blaine.
It's difficult to empty the mind in every in every meditation and prayer.
Yes, really difficult to empty the mind. So that's the reason why we have to do the enhancement and doing everyday meditation and the application of the proper breathing, and then it will help you how you are going to control your muscles, and then you can control your muscles, you can control your mind. That's why that's the secret of controlling the mind. How you are going to control your mind, you have to relax. And then these things are actually difficult to achieve if we do not know how to relax our muscles. And then the mind is the central voice of the entire body, wherein the mind cannot also have peace and harmony if the cell in the physical body would not listen to the central voice. When the entire physical body, and then the billions or trillions of cells would not listen with the central voice, and that's the big problems of the mind, because it cannot really attain peace and harmony. It's really there. That's the thing that we have to do, our enhancement of our exercise. That's why Art of Life 172 plays really big role on your enhancement of your peace and harmony, enhancement of your wisdom, enhancement of your energies and the physical body, enhancement of the cells of the entire body. Because they, in your practice of Art of Life 172, every day you're putting it natural activities in your life. Every day you are going to perform Art of Life early morning, and also right after sunset you are going to perform lessons of Art of Life 172. Then that's really good, because you are enhancing every day your energy in the physical body, enhancing your cells in the physical body to align with substantive energy, powerful energy, and you are practicing how to control your breathing. Because that's an Art of Life 172. When you are going to inhale deeply, and while inhaling, scoping universal energy, the way you are going to scope universal energy, you are connecting your consciousness, energy, light, life with a universal force. And in the time that you can see the angels of supreme light, you are connecting your consciousness to the angels. And deep within, you can really perceive powerful energy. So that's why time shall come. But this time we are going to use divine words, divine names of gods, the way of our spiritual contacts. And then as we go forward, and then we are going to use direct to the mind, and without the use of the light and sound vibration, and then you can already connect with the angels of the supreme light. So that's why in the past, way back 20 years ago, 25 years ago, or 40 years ago, and the 50s, and then you have to recite long prayers. And then I'm talking about sacred prayers created by the spiritual division teachers. And what are the spiritual division teachers? They are actually people ordained with authority from the spiritual world, from the sacred spiritual secret, to release divine words. And anybody can compose prayer. Then I'm talking about a certain prayer or divine words, divine names, directly coming from the authority of spiritual dimension. So that's why that belongs to the esoteric side, revealed to the few, hidden to the many. And that's the meaning of esoteric. So, yung sa una, napakaraming i-chant mo ng mga divine words, mga mantra. Ngayon, kaunti na lang. So, when you talk about 36,000 mystery, so that's really 36 comprising of 4 divine words or divine names. And then the 4 divine names are actually the names of the angels. Definitely, it would not have meaning in the human world, because those are not for the human world. Actually, the source of that were not actually for the humans, not the human world, the higher dimension, and then actually for the humans. So to access higher dimension. So in the past, ang mga napakataas ng mga prayers maging ngayon, very short na lang, until the point in time that siguro it depends on the release of the spiritual dimension. Then the procedure will be given direct to the mind, and how fast your mind could be. That could be also the reflexes that you could have. So pag mayroong kidlat, and then you do not need any longer to memorize your lesson shielding against the lightning, because faster than the speed of thought, you already have your self-protection. So that's why I'm saying that by this time, bigger powers are working. And then this is the wave of the energy that we should understand, that there are now energies we cannot describe, negative energies, positive energies, because those are from the past time. The past time, in a way, is still working at this time. We are going to describe negative energies, positive energies, and then negative caused by the negative psychic attacks. And then I'm saying that bigger powers are working now. We're in the bigger powers, and that kind of powers, just like the lightning. If you're hit by the lightning, and then someone hit by the lightning would be burned, because electrocuted so much electricity, so will die, will be consumed by fire. And the energy of the lightning is, you cannot say negative energy, bad energy, or positive energy, because that's simply energy, electricity. So it can also burn up, because it's really powerful. It can really burn up. So when you're hit by, for example, by a tsunami, or someone or a place hit by the tsunami, we could not say that's negative energy. It's the natural force of nature. The illustration that really force of nature is really not loving kindness, not really loving, because it will kill many lives. And then whose fault that kind of event? And then it's not, because it's divine mother nature illustrating the force of energy. It is natural event of the entire planet, and we cannot describe that the force of the energy, force of the typhoon is negative energy, because that's natural and violent force of nature. And that's why for bigger power working now in the entire planet, and then what's our self-protection? That's why the presence of the angels of the Supreme Light manifesting right now, we are aided. We are being aided. How we are going to arrange our life's ascension into higher dimensions. So we are not left behind on our preparations for our final ascension into higher dimension. So the physical body is vital. We have to take good care of our physical body. Whenever the time you feel something wrong in your physical body, immediately do your self-healing. Before you are going to retire to bed, and you have to do your self-healing right after waking up early morning, then you have to do again your self-healing. And that's why you have your 4 tasks, which is also the 4th lesson of the 7 steps. The 4th task, early morning, you are going to wake up, and before doing anything, you have to begin your meditation right away, right after you wake up early morning. The reason for that is you can prepare yourself, arrange yourself for the bigger activities, and with the blessings also of the Supreme Master of Heaven. Because during the 4th task, you are going to connect your consciousness to the Supreme Master of Wisdom, Supreme Super Light Angels. We're in with that the opening of your 4th task, doing your meditation. You can begin with the 36,000 mystery. Or if you cannot begin your 36,000 mystery, you can begin with the simple gesture of a Dugukan Lightship meditation or Rainbow Bridge of Light meditation, or you can perform Home Jump Calm lesson, then proceed to your meditation. That is remembering your dream. And that's enhancing your brain and also enhancing your divine connection to the Supreme Super Light Angels, because the time that you can see that there is something wrong in your dreams, and then you have to do something to counter the negative energies. And how can you counter the negative energies? You have to use your 36,000 mystery and give title, connect to the Supreme Master of Wisdom, Supreme Super Light Angels, to the Holy Infinita, to my Guardian Angel, to my Spiritual Master, to block or suppress the negative energies, trying to connect with my energy field, or if it is already connected with my energy field, to rid of this kind, or to disconnect this kind of negative energies, so it will not cause bad lucks in my life. And that's the way how you are going to do it. That's why vital, really vital, that you are going to apply your holistic art exercises, the 7 steps in your cultivation, for your inner discovery, and spiritual growth. Okay, so while waiting for the rest to join in this live conference, joining with us right now, Igmat Mari Cabardo. More power to you, Igmat Imari.
Maayong hapon, GM.
Yes, mayong hapon. So, Bibi Bravi Trinidad.
Good afternoon, SGMPS1-72, watching from Tabuelan, Northern Cebu.
Yes, baby, more power to you, and more power always in our oneness with all the stars. And also, Alma Barikit Largado.
Good afternoon, SGMPS1-72, and to all of us.
Yes, Alma, more power. Okay, so prepare your glass of water. So we are going to bless the water during the divine healing transmission. And of course, the purpose of the revelation of the Supreme Master of Wisdom, Supreme Superlight Angels, the very purpose is to help the humanity ascend life into higher dimension, wherein we are very clear and very certain how you are going to prepare yourself for your final ascension into higher dimension, where if we are going to use in the religious term, that's salvation of life, eternal salvation of life for the coming final judgment day, and that's the religious term. And in the What's Your Divine Revelation, I'm saying that that's ascension of life into higher dimension, wherein the process of the ascension of life into higher dimension is transformation of the physical body. So that's why I'm listening light workers talking about the ascension of life, and then the planet is now entering into the energy of the fourth vibrational frequency and or the fifth dimension. And then that's really nice because we can say that people are aligning, tuning up with higher vibrational frequency. And that's why here this is actually a good opportunity, because there is a precise lesson wherein if the ascension of life will need you to align higher vibrational frequency, and then you will be aided by the procedure. The procedure of the physical and the spiritual fitness that you can apply to increase your frequency, to increase your energy, activating the energy centers in the physical body and the sub-centers of the physical body, activation of your divine connection with divine Mother Nature, divine connection with the angels of the Most High, and with the Most High. And it can be done by actual physical and spiritual fitness. The very reason here we are not going to talk more about belief, because we already have that belief. It's one has the belief, whether we are believers of God or non-believers of God. We each and every one of us has our very own belief, and our belief is really sacred. So we must treasure our belief. We must take good care also of our belief, and we let it grow so that it will turn into a powerful faith. And then from faith, it will turn into soul realization. And then from soul realization, it will turn into advanced cell. So advanced cell, that refers to your advanced elemental body, and then after the transformation of your advanced elemental body into light body, that will turn into the second advanced elemental body. That's super light foundation. And that's really nice if we are getting familiar with that kind of reality, the light of the Supreme Infinite. Yes, definitely. It's quietly difficult to understand this sense that I'm talking Super Light Foundation, Supreme Super Light Angels, and that's because the new term that we can hear pertaining to the revelation of the light of infinite truth. Actually, that's the expression and thus the illustration of the teaching of the Holy Spirit. Because the teaching of the Holy Spirit must be done in the private revelation. It could be through your dreams, so that's why you have your forecast, so that you are going to discern the dreams. And then it could be done also by clear vision technique. So that's why you do your meditation, then vision will come in, and then you will be given divine instruction from the higher dimension, from the office of your precise guardian angel, or from the office of your precise spiritual master. And those things are vital for the ascension of life into higher dimension. And that's why people learning lessons of art of life. You are practicing your angel's compassion connection wherever you are. You are the hope of many souls, not just only in your place in the entire planet, and not just only in the human sectors, also in the elemental sectors. We are not alone. The second principle of Dugukan, the third principle, we are not alone. The second principle is connectivity with nature. So enhancing yourself with the vital or essences with nature, you are enhancing yourself, your divine connection with Mother Nature. And in the nature, what's there in nature that we are going to enhance? The subjective part of nature, the objective part of nature, the things that we can see when our eyes are open. So everything that we see, those are the objective part. We can see trees, mountains, skies, clouds, people, animals, and everything. Those are the objective part. And then the subjective part, when you are going to close your eyes, and then you cannot any longer see the things by your naked eyes, but then still you can see something. That's the subjective part. The lives associated with Divine Mother Nature. Yun na yun pumasok yung mga engkanto, mga kaluluwa, mga aliens na hindi makikita sa mga mata, pero makikita yun sa isip-isipan natin. Yan, they are the lives associated with the nature. Elementary things of nature or advanced things of nature. So yan, napakalawak itong paaralan natin. Itong school natin napakalawak because the entire universe, the entire cosmos, and not just only the entire cosmos, beyond cosmos. And that's the lesson of life that we must realize. The infiniteness of knowledge and the wisdom, so we cannot say that we are already full of knowledge. We are genius. And the more genius that we are, then the more that we do not know the things that really matter in our life's ascension into higher dimension. So let's empty our mind. And the way we are going to empty our mind, higher knowledge will come in. So that's why when it comes to the teaching of wisdom, it's really different because nobody in the human sector can teach wisdom. We can be the instrument of wisdom. So people as well, brothers and sisters as well, they can also access higher knowledge in the form of wisdom. So we can share the procedure, but not the power itself. Because the power itself, that shall be given from the heaven. And that's the way of heaven. And we cannot go against the way of heaven. We can only abide with what's actually the way of heaven. And we are not suffering life. We will not suffer grave regrets in the summit of everything that we're doing because we're not going away. We're not actually going against the will of heaven. We are following the way of heaven. Yes, knowing the light of the supreme infinite truth. Okay, so in a few minutes from now, we are going to begin our distant energy healing. So prepare your glass of water. And our simple formula is open up your heart and your mind to receive the bridging of the divine radiance of the Supreme Master of Heaven, Supreme Super Light, angels, so friends, brothers, and sisters, and this oneness with all the stars. The planet is quietly vast, and then we must have wider view to see things right. What are really the things that will really matter in our life? And then we are going to protect the treasures of light, and how we are going to protect the treasures of light if we do not know what's the treasures of light. And then I would say that the people, life itself is the treasures of light. So again, life itself is the treasure of light. So we must take good care of our lives by going away from the harm of destructive vices, by developing the highest foundation of life, which is a spiritual foundation. And that's really vital for everyone's ascension into higher dimension. Okay, message from Divina, Robin Explain.
I hope I can empty my mind. Thinking of emptying the mind, control the breathing is a big thought already.
Yes, I'm perceiving that Divina Robin Explain, you can empty your mind because you're empty already in the mind. and that's why you can perceive what actually I'm talking, because the energy that you have is you cannot say that you cannot empty your mind, because there are things that we can say, but then actually we can only play words in the mouth, but that are really coming from the deep within, because energy will tell us what we are, who we are. And although we're not the same country, maybe wherever you are, and I'm perceiving your energy is quietly good, and you're already reaching the kind of mastery wherein you can really empty your mind. More power to you. And to everyone joining this conference, I'm really hoping that we are having the best vigor of our spirit, and we have the momentum. That's actually really important that we have momentum. I would like to speak it in the Cebuano version or in Tagalog version. And then I'm thinking that some of our brothers and sisters cannot really understand our language, and especially the local dialect Cebuano or Bisaya. So let's just talk in this way. So from Divina.
You look like an old Chinese or half Japanese on your looks.
Yes, but I'm a Filipino, and maybe because of eyebags, so eyebags, because yesterday night I was not sleeping because I'm writing, so and also doing something. That's why we're as if Chinese or Japanese, because of our eyes lack of sleep. Anyway, sometimes black eye because of martial arts. More power, Divine Urban's playing. And also Brad Knight Terizo Kamutan.
Daghang salamat SMW, SSLA, SGMPS1-72.
More power to you, Brad Knight Terizo. So you are actually friends, brothers and sisters, and the practitioners of the holistic art of the Dugukan stars. You are the book of Dugukan. Why I'm saying that? Because the Dugukan book comprising of 19 volumes, and that would be the canon of the Supreme Superlight Angels. So the revelation of the Supreme Superlight Angels in the entire planet would comprise 19 volumes of book and the books of the Dugukan stars. So begin writing your book of the Dugukan, because that's actually you are the living witness and the living witnesses of the mystery of the Most High. We are coming into the bigger activities, planetary activities. So we are not going to make a guess what would happen for the bigger planetary activities, because it's not our authority. Only the Holy Spirit will tell you what's going on. So perceive your divine correction from the office of your precise guardian angel and your spiritual master. And then you still have time to arrange yourself final ascension into higher dimension. And then again, let's take a note of this very important message. In this planet, we are a big family. And then who are the members of your family? Your brothers and sisters in the entire planet. And then in the entire galaxy, we are a bigger family. And then in the entire cosmos, we are the biggest family. So that's oneness with all the lights. Oneness with all the lights, then we don't have enemy. So if we don't have enemy, so we cannot invoke our principles that this is only the truth that we are going to abide in, we are going to solve the problems of the world, because the more that we think that we can solve the problems of the world, we can even more add the problems of the world, because we cannot actually solve our very own problems, because we are thinking of the bigger problems we're in. That cannot be done by us. So we are going to solve our very own problems. And what are our problems? The 50, the 60 trillion cells of the physical body. So that's the living temple of God. That's your kingdom, your physical body. So take good care of your physical body, because that is really needed for your ascension of life into higher dimension. And that's the message from the Supreme Master of Wisdom, Supreme Light Angels, that we are going to do. How we are going to make our life useful. Can we make our life useful if we are only going to work for our very own self? And things that cannot be done. So that's why in the beginning of the revelation of Dugukan, way back a long time ago, I cannot remember the exact year. Then I'm asking question, if you are going to be asked, where is your kingdom? What is your kingdom? How would you answer that? So before you are going to sleep tonight, then try to ask yourself, what is my kingdom? Where is my kingdom? And then try to look at yourself if you can really memorize your face. If you can really memorize your physical body, then contemplate, what's your kingdom? Where's your kingdom? Because we're talking about ascension of life into higher dimension. And know thyself, you have to memorize your face. And then if you cannot memorize your face, and then something must be done. Very big job to do, to work out for your final ascension into higher dimension. And that's why it's the same as asking yourself, know thyself, who are you, by the way? What do you know about yourself? What do I know about myself? And then, yes, we can describe levels of spiritual awareness. And then if we don't have spiritual awareness, we are genius. I am genius, for example. Every one of us here is a genius. So we are geniuses. And without the wisdom, and then how can we fulfill our final ascension of life in the higher dimension? Everything we must discern, and we must have the explanation. And that's why people will try to ask, what's mystical healing? What's mystery? From the word mystery, if it can be discerned by the power of human understanding, then that thing cannot be mystery. Because the definition of mystery cannot be discerned by the power of human understanding. That's why we have to look for the other side of the coin. And then tonight now, the moon is appearing in the sky. So it means to say there is now the shifting of energy. And as you can perceive, the energy by this time is Holy Infinita, Moon Handrim, Angels. So Holy Infinita and the Moon Handrim, Angels. It's quietly sorting energy. So let's walk with the moons and go with the moons to illuminate the world. So enlighten the world. And where is the world? It's just right there within you, the world. Your biggest world is within you. And then the external environment is not the world wherein you belong. You can prove it because wherever your heart belongs is there your real world. Is there also your real kingdom. So that's why you have to define, where is your kingdom? Are you going to use your weapon and to make war because you have to work for your happiness, and then trying to solve the problems of the world? And in fact, you cannot really solve the problems of the world. Instead, you can create bigger problems of the world. So it's better to use your weapon of love, peace, and harmony, and help the love, peace, and harmony, not just only for the entire community, for the entire planet. And that's the most important. That's why the angels of the Supreme Light are coming, getting closer to us, so we can understand the real meaning of divine love, peace, and harmony in this oneness with all the stars. So I'm thinking it's time to begin our divine healing right now. So all you have to do is just to open up your heart and your mind, and we'll begin the distant energy healing. Connect with my hands, and I'm requesting the blessings of the Supreme Master of Heaven, Supreme Superlight, Angels, and this oneness with all the stars. All that will connect with this divine healing transmission will receive divine healing. Another thing, pick up your glass of water and we will be sending to you the blessings for your water. So make your water living water of life that can cleanse up negative energy contaminations and that can heal illnesses. You can drink your water. And then another thing, for anyone wishing to become divine healer or energy healer, this divine connection is for you. And open up your heart, you will receive divine connection for energy healing. You can begin your self-healing or you can heal anyone that you want to heal. And also for everyone practicing the holistic art of Dugukan, the divine healing, this is to enhance your divine healing. And if you would like also to do distant energy healing for your loved ones who are not joining in this divine healing transmission, all you have to do is just to thank of them and then send them the energy connection that you are receiving from this divine healing connection, and they will also receive divine healing. Is done. So, atong pasalamat to the Supreme Master of Heaven, Supreme Superlight, angels to the Supreme Infinite God. So for the blessings that we receive and everyone is receiving and the divine connection for healing. So friends, brothers and sisters, always keeping up the vigor of the spirit within and practice your art of life 172. That's the key for your arrangement, final arrangement of your life's ascension into higher dimension. Art of life 172. Okay, so before we are going to close our live conference today, and let's read first message from Mariam.
I am ready po to join the healing. Have my water prepared. Live in Toronto, Ontario.
Yes, Mariam, more power to you. Regards to your family in Leyte, and everyone there, mga kaigsunan na to diya sa Toronto, Canada. And also with us now, Annie Belendes.
Maayong hapon, SGMPS 172 sa tanan.
Yes, Annie, maayong hapon kanimo. Ang sa lahat ng mga kaibigan natin dyan sa Manila chapter, Antipulo, more power. Okay, so really nice seeing you today, joining in this live conference. And until the next time, we will have another live conference. So we are going to talk more about the angels of Supreme Light, Supreme Master of Wisdom, Akadasar Supreme Super Light, Angels, Holy Infinita, Guardian Angel, Spiritual Master, and your spirit guides, and then pertaining to the ascension of life into a higher dimension, and many, many more pertaining to the holistic art. Okay, so wherever you go, always bring with you the love, peace, and harmony of the Holy Infinita. More power. Hasta la vista.